You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Sensational from him. Raffaele produces a moment of utter magic.
Teo Hernandez al volo! Teo Hernandez! Ancora lui! Una meraviglia! Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic! Fuori classe assoluto!
Here we are, guys, live a couple of minutes late because our distinguished guest, he was still up watching Survivor Series, Steve. Nothing to do with yesterday's game, but we're here. We have Raffaele live. Raf, are you going to stay on with the whole podcast? We're going to get your Napolitana ideas and opinions. Are you there for the whole hour?
I'm here for as long as you need me to be here. I'm sorry I'm late. I was hungover from drinking myself to sleep last night, and I'm still partying. So
good for you. Stevie P, buonasera. So we're streaming to 3 live ones, Steve, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and little do we know we were able to do this like several weeks back, but we just discovered it recently. But all right, if you guys are ready, let's get this show started. Already 26 people watching us live. So here we go. Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything in Milan, from Undertaker retiring and Milan breaking records. Milan and yes, Steve, you know I have to put that in.
Undertaker retiring, please.
He's retired, Steve. This is real. And we're not professionals,
nor do we pretend to be. He's been retired for 10 years.
Steve. He fought in a couple of months ago. It was cinematic match. It was a cinematic match.
For the Undertaker, the WWE is like an Interact machine. When he needs money, he does a match.
Well, we did have that yesterday, but we had a lot of games in Serie A, and we do have Raffa Rispo from Far From Vesuvius podcast. Raffa, welcome. I know it's not your first time, but I know you wish you were here under better circumstances, but say hello to the Milanistas here and plug yourself. Put yourself over.
Ciao Milanisti, come stai? You're doing better than I am, actually. And congratulations on the victory yesterday. You can find me at Far From Vesuvius on Twitter and at Raffa Napoli 83 on Twitter. Raffaele Rispo on Facebook, at Rispo Edge on Instagram. That's what I'm about. Our podcast is also on Facebook and Instagram as well. That's where I'm coming from. And I'm excited to join you guys to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. I'm not excited about the result, but I'm excited about joining you guys today. And as far as the Undertaker retiring, we'll see about that. There's a little event called WrestleMania coming up in late March or April, so we'll see about that.
We'll see. And may I add this, Steve, for once, it's not my internet. It looks like the internet down in the United States. It's a little glitchy, but just like Napoli, maybe another excuse for the loss yesterday. We'll see, but we're going to take you through the whole games of the week. We're definitely going to start with yesterday's game, Steve. 3-1, a lot of more downs than ups for Milan. Napoli really took it to us, kept on battling and nerve-wracking at some points. But in the end, Hogan with the third goal there at the end, sealing the win. Ibra coming out. I know a lot of us has asked questions about that. But Steve, your general feelings of watching this Milan yesterday?
Yeah, so yesterday's Milan, guys, I want to dissect it in 3 parts. First part, the first 20 minutes of the game. I don't think Napoli knew what time that game started. Yes, Napoli did have some guys out of injury, but really, I don't think Napoli was out of the gate pretty fast. Then Milan in the second portion, like after we went up 1-0, it seemed like Milan went back into that defensive shell, and we weren't aggressive, and we were not pressing Naples. Naples is a funny team, right? They actually want you to press them, but yesterday it seemed every time we were pressing them, they were having trouble, and when we didn't press them, we were making them dictate play, and they were in our half most of the time. So I get that first 45 minutes, and then the second half, guys, for me, it was a growing game for Milan, and I'll explain what that means, okay? Because we were getting a lot of pressure, and with, everybody's saying, Milan doesn't play nice football. To be very honest, you guys, I couldn't care less about nice football. I don't care. And Napoli likes to play that nice football, and you want to make a million passes, but if you can't put that ball in the back of the net, those million passes and that nice football is not going to get you anywhere. The second goal with 3 passes, we were behind Naples, and we were 2-0 up with 2 goals from Zlatan. And again, for some reason, we again let go of that pedal, and we got that for me, it was a really stupid goal, because I don't think Napoli really even thought they would get in that position. And again, we're going to talk about it. I'm pretty sure it's a topic of conversation. It's been all over the newspapers, every podcast. Another mistake from Romagnoli, gifting Mertens another goal. But Milan grew from that. A year ago, we would have lost this game. And a year ago, we were up 2-0, and Naples came back. So to get back to the game of yesterday, getting that third goal with changes that I'm on the fence with those changes. Everybody's saying Bonera. I don't think it's Bonera. I think it was Pioli through multiple communications of who he wanted to bring on. Wasn't too crazy about the changes, but in the end, Hogan, he seals it 3-0. And then after, it's let's put to rest everybody on Twitter. Francis the Snake, you're gone. Everybody in the Napoli Twitter, you're gone. Everybody's gone. I don't want to hear no excuses. Milan yesterday was the better team. And let's face it, I'm very hard on Milan. Yesterday, Milan was the better team.
You found Milan was the better team, Steve, throughout the whole game?
Yes,
really?
Because you have Insigne, who was invisible. You have Mertens, who, if we don't make a mistake, is just as invisible. Their best player was Polantuono, and Polantuono, we want him to have the ball, because you see what happens when he has the ball and Insigne doesn't have it and Mertens doesn't have it. You create chances, and most of the time they're not on net, those chances. Let's face it. Rafa's he's gonna say yes to that too. And when we met the first time, I said someone has to make a difference other than Zlatan, because I was worried about Koulibaly marking Zlatan. Yesterday, guys, 39-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic put Koulibaly in his pocket. There was nothing that Koulibaly could have done to stop Zlatan Ibrahimovic yesterday. Manolas, the Greek, he got destroyed by Hope. Destroyed.
A little step over, and he just completely left
Guys,
his dazzle there.
This is why Steve has always been hard on Naples. Because when it's time, guys, Naples needs to seal that window. You could play pretty football, but in the end, it's the 3 points that counts. And that's that. Yesterday, it's hard to see, but Milan was the better team.
About on the Napoli side, Rafa, how did you guys vision this game? And do you agree with Steve's statement?
I agree 100%. Steve is right. When it comes to Napoli, we're not the better team yesterday. I tweeted it out immediately. The better team won, let's face it. Napoli were lethargic. They didn't look like they were in it. They looked tired. And it's funny because I just recorded a podcast that began a new podcast series from VESUVIUS podcast under the umbrella, and it's called Nazio Napoli, and we showcase all of the Italian players and the international players out on international duty for Napoli, Napoli players out with their respective nations, and how a good showing and a good outing could lead to good morale when you come back to your city, play for your club, and things like that. And literally every single player who we showcased that did a good job played underwhelming yesterday. It had a lot to do with, and you can tell me I'm making excuses left and right, but let's face the facts. Victor Osimhen, for the Napoli fans who've been watching Napoli every minute of this season, makes a difference in the team. When he's in that field, he creates chances. He opens up the play. He creates space, and he allows us to attack and put shots on net. Little to nothing, and a lot of people were praising Mertens being where he was, and he scored 26 goals when he came in for Milik in that role, and this and that. But the fact of the matter is, he played in a 4-3-9. This was a lineup where Gattuso remained in the 4-2, Mertens as your striker, and Chucky Lozano playing in that number 10 role with Insigne and Politano on the wings. And look, first of all, Lozano's not a number 10, and Mertens is not a striker in that position. In the 4-3-3, it works a little bit better. In the 4-3-1, you have the wing space to try to send in the ball, and we're crossing balls into strikers who are no taller than, me, 5'7", 5'8", 5'10", and you're not going to get anywhere when it comes to that, and I feel like Petagna, he could have made a difference if he came in a little earlier. Maybe if he started the match, maybe got the formation wrong. Maybe he didn't start Zielinski. Maybe him and Fabian playing too far back from goal is affecting how he plays. Because normally when he plays in Spain, he plays in the number 10 position or more towards the goal. And he gets 3 assists and is involved in 5 goals against Germany, 6-0. So I think that everything went wrong. I could tell when the match was about 10, 15 minutes in that this was not going to be a good night. And I think that
You're gonna have to check your internet.
Trouble.
Sorry, Rafa, your internet, it keeps on cutting off on our end. I don't know if you need to give it the Milan treatment and get it to do better than.
Or maybe try to, no offense there, kill the video. Maybe the video's sucking up too much juice.
Maybe it's taking up too much American internet juice there. Let's try that one there. Okay, let's see. You were talking about, you're saying that 15 minutes in, you knew that it wasn't going to be a good display. And I wanted to throw this back to both of you because on Sports Media Set, they were talking about records. And just a couple of them, Steve. This is the second time in the era of the 3 points for a win that the Milan gets minimum 20 points in the first 8 games. Last time was 2003-2004 when they won the Scudetto. It's since 2010 when Robinho and Ibrahimovic that Milan didn't win at the San Paolo against Napoli in Serie A. It's been since November 92 that Milan didn't score at least 3 goals in Napoli when they won 5-1. And it's since January that Napoli hasn't lost 2 games in a row in Campionato at home. Just a night of even looking at Ibrahimovic with the goals, and it's just, what's his name? David Fante saying that, he's on the bandwagon. This is our year. This is our year. And you keep on seeing these records like this, and obviously more in the favors of at Milan, Steve. But in the end, it was a great reaction, and we do have, this is not the time to take our foot off the pedal and just say, oh, look, we even beat a somewhat good Napoli there. Definitely not take our foot off the pedal, because we're going to get into it, because they're going to ask us, the Ibra injuries, even Kessie, that missed call. It looks like, even the concussion protocols that weren't followed. But in the end, do we have enough gas, even if we go against Fiorentina next? I know we have obviously the Europa League, but are you worried, or was this like a great proof of we have enough in the tank and away let's go?
I think if our players are healthy, we have enough in the tank. The thing is that our players are not healthy. So, losing Zlatan, and we're losing Salchicha Maker, and Kessie being all banged up. And I want to talk about that because that's an important thing. I heard a lot of that today. I heard ref terrible calls. Bakayoko, no yellow card. His first yellow card wasn't a yellow card. Second yellow card, no, wasn't a yellow card.
Yeah, no business on that tackle. Rafa, let's see if your voice is better. No business with the yellow card, that second foul. That was like the Bakayoko that we got used to seeing at the beginning of Milan. But what are your thoughts on that?
I think that the second yellow card was warranted. It was definitely a challenge that warranted a card. The first one was a little soft for me, I think. But listen, no excuses. That's the way it is. The referee does what the referee does, and I'm tired of making excuses, because of the referees. It's just
yeah. Then we get
it's an issue that.
Yeah, sorry, Rafa. Then we move on from the two red cards, and we have the Zlatan elbow on Koulibaly, and look, you see it in super slow motion, guys. It's again, I repeat myself all the time, and I'm not saying this because he's a Milan player. I'm saying this because it's the same thing when we're calling penalty shots in the box and the person is standing in a normal stance, in a normal like a regular person would stand, his hands out, and the ball hits his hand. It's a stupid rule, but it's a rule, and unfortunately, penalty shots get called. But when people are jumping, and you see Zlatan yesterday, the aerial duels, he was winning those. That elbow, it's not a malicious elbow. It's not the De Rossi on McBride elbow. You understand? Like that's what people are forgetting here. Malicious elbow, by all means, I'm the first person to say, to take them out of the game. It's not supposed to be that way. But there is some gamesmanship, you understand, over here. If let's say Koulibaly is winning all those battles, and that elbow comes out, and it's situational too, right? In my head, I'm going to say, you know what, Zlatan, you chalk it up as a loss. You should have got a red card and get out of there. But he's winning them all, guys. He won everything. 39 years old, he won everything. Lord Zlatan yesterday. Everything. He won everything. Why would he put himself in a position to get a red card? Exactly. It's just logic. And these reporters keep on reporting this stupidity. That Zlatan, he's an animal. And you know what? I was disappointed. And it's my indigestion of the week. It's Gattuso saying that elbow was like a Mike Tyson punch. Please. Someone who's played the game, Gattuso, and I love you with all my heart. The guy is smarter than that. He would not put his team in that situation. Those are things that happen when you're playing. It's things that, unfortunately, we have no control over. But I was proud. At least the ref was able to see that and say, you know what? It's part of the game. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for him to take that red card. Could it be a moment of stupidity? Yeah, but come on. Guys, every reporter today, Rafa, sorry to cut you off because I'm really pissed off today. Every reporter on every goddamn fucking newspaper that I read today found me an excuse why Milan won this game. They found me an excuse. The Bakayoko red card, the Zlatan Ibrahimovic no call, the this, the that, the blah, 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 blah. Milan is top of the table with 20 points, people. 20 points. We're half a team.
And for once, even if they wanted to call it that way, we capitalized on our chances and we made them pay for their mistakes. That's it. Sorry, Rafa, what did you have to say?
No, my question was that action reviewed with VAR? Because VAR can't go back and give a yellow card. They can only go back and give a red card. Now, if the referee saw it in real time and thought it was malicious enough, I think it could have warranted a yellow card for Zlatan. But when I don't remember, but I think they looked at it on VAR to take a look to see if it was malicious enough for a red card. And they decided that it wasn't. You can't hand a yellow card out for VAR. You can hand out a red card. So I think they just said, you know what, we wipe our hands with it. Let's continue. It wasn't a red card, but we can't give a yellow. Let's go. And that's the thing is the reporters that give the excuses. Napoli fans for the most part, they're not using those excuses. Their excuses are, we don't look at, and Steve, you brought up pretty football and good looking football. Napoli haven't been playing very beautiful football in the last month or so. They're still getting those results, but yesterday the results didn't come. So a lot of Napoli fans are alarmists now, and they're very worried about what Gattuso can really bring to Napoli. But nobody that I've encountered is using the refereeing as an excuse. If Bakayoko is sent off, he's sent off. That's it. You know what I mean? The point is 3-1. That's the point.
Yeah. Well said.
Exactly. Let's because we do have a lot of questions to go through. Rafa's going to stick around with us. It's a lot better the voice, Rafa. Sorry, we can have your beautiful coif there on the video, but we're going to keep it like this. Steve, let's take it through the other results. We like to go through 7 minutes of Serie A. At least we'll have somebody also on the Napoli side. What are his thoughts of this week's games? I know you already prepared. So you did prepare there that we had COVID versus what did you call it? COVID versus Crotone.
Crotone, Lazio COVID 0-2.
So Lazio coming up with a well-needed win, Steven, because they haven't been firing on all cylinders, and even them, they found to make wins when they're absolutely necessary. Then you had who did you have, Steve? Ronaldo.
No. Then we have my special one.
Which one?
Spezia 0. Nobody's dancing 0 anymore.
Atalanta firing blanks once again. About you guys, Rafa, what you see this Atalanta maybe losing a bit of steam, or are you liking these results so far in the Serie A?
I really like it a lot. Let me be the first to say that I called this Atalanta spell in the beginning of the season. I don't think that they did enough to replace the defense that they lost, and I kind of saw this coming. I also said the same about Inter, and so far I'm kind of right. And it's nice to see that Atalanta is finally coming back. The thing is that now we have Sassuolo, who's taking their place, and apparently the team. So so Atalanta not drawing blanks is pretty cool to me.
After that, Steve, take it through the last game of Saturday.
The last game of Saturday, we will forever refer to Juventus from here to the end of the Campionato as CR7 versus Cagliari. 2-0.
And popped them in early, and that's all they needed.
Now, this is an important one, guys, okay? Guys, this is another freakish athlete, whether you want to like him or not, okay? This guy is a game changer, even at his age. And imagine, guys, I can say, I'm not going to say comfortably. I love Zlatan, and I think Zlatan is in fantastic shape, and he's playing at 39 years old. I think CR7 is even better shape. Mm-hmm. And I think he's changed his game in terms of, like, it's not that fast wing play anymore. It's more of that striker poacher style. But guys, whether you like it or not, he's saving Juventus because Juventus does not look good. Without him, they don't look good. And even with him, they don't look good, guys. This is the worst Juventus that I've seen in the last 10 years. And we said it when we met on the pregame for Napoli. Il campionato è aperto. That's what I want to see on the newspapers. Corriere dello Sport, Tutto Juve, Gazzetta dello Sport, Mediaset. Say it because it's true. Il campionato è aperto. That's it.
Instead of saying like, this is probably a lucky streak or whatever, but they can't just look at stats. And we're not saying announce that Milan are Scudetto winners, but at least announce like, what a battle it's going to be. Then we had stuttering Fiorentina, Steve, losing to to our beloved super people. What's going on? Take it to you, Rafa. What's going on with Fiorentina? Is it just, I don't know, man. They shouldn't be losing this way so far.
No, they shouldn't be. But I don't think that they approached the window the right way, the transfer window. They brought in Callejon, who, I mean, you know, he was still doing well with Napoli, but he was on the back end of his career, and I don't think that he's the answer. And they don't really have a good strike, you know, a good, you know, they have a nice little team. Don't get me wrong. They brought in what's the kid from Verona in the midfield? They brought him in, and then they made Amrabat. Yes, he's a very, very good player. I like Amrabat. But I mean, you know, honestly, it's just not happening. Castrovilli was looking really good. They gave him the number 10. You know, I just feel like Ribéry and Callejon, and you know, they're a little bit older. Callejon, I don't even think played yesterday. Maybe he wasn't even on the bench. He ended up getting COVID. I'm sorry, that's what happened.
Yeah.
But still, the point is that you know, their striker's Vlahovic, and he's not very proven. You know, I think they need to make a few more moves, and they're not that deep on the bench either. Prandelli came back to a loss to Benevento, which, I mean, shouldn't have happened. And credit to Benevento, but you know, Fiorentina is not the top half of the table team that everyone says that they might be this season yet. I don't think so.
Definitely. And Rafa, I'm going to have to make an executive decision because I already can feel Presidente cringing on his end because your voice keeps on crackling and the audio quality. We might have to just do this segment with you, and we'll bring you on another time, and we'll talk more wrestling when Steve's not listening. But Steve, after this, we had fuck, man. I was even watching this one, and how did they manage to score 4 goals? Inter coming back 4 goals out of nowhere. Yeah. And you call this one Merda 4, Giampaolo 2?
Yeah. So Giampaolo, I'm sorry, I don't think he's going to, for all our non-Italian speaking Milan Weekly podcasters, non mangi il panettone a Natale. He's not going to eat his Italian panettone at Christmas time. I know that for this game, if I'm not mistaken, and the internet will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Giampaolo wasn't there. So we're still going to blame him even if he wasn't there. But look, guys, for me, this hurts not only because of Inter winning and coming back and getting 4 points that, in my opinion, they did not deserve because they were terrible for 60 minutes of this game. And I watched the entire game. Francis, Nima, everybody. I am not judging off things. They were terrible. And Torino was just as terrible, but they were able to score 2 goals on them. But then, and this is the second time it's happened this year, where Conte he flips the switch and he puts on his best players. Hey, magically, someone tells him in his ear, put on your best players because you can win this game. And that's exactly what they did. They came back and they won 4-2. Again, these are the games that we're going to remember. This is the second time now. It's the second time it's happened to Inter where they were in a game. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Parma earlier where they were down 2-0 and they came back to tie it. I'd have to go back to it, but he needs to understand that he has to have a plan B. And you know, all our Interisti fans here in North America, a pound away, understand that. And he's just stubborn. And for us, luckily for us, I hope it continues because games like this will not always turn out that way. You cannot go down 2-0 and come back 4-2.
This kind of performances will catch up with you, right? And then we had the Sassuolo still staying there, 2 points behind us with a 2-0 win.
Can't make fun of Sassuolo. Can't make fun of them.
No, and then finishing up with the Milan. So, Rafa, before we let you go, if we asked, let's say, a reasonable Napoli fan like yourself, what are the expectations for Napoli, for you guys, like, you know, with a reasonable expectation for the season and European football?
So reasonable expectations for Napoli are top 4. We think we have enough in the tank to finish fourth. It's going to be a fight with either Roma or Sassuolo or Inter, maybe even Juventus. Whoever's there, it's going to be a fight. Maybe Lazio. But that's the thing, Steve said, campionato aperto. This, it's crazy to say that Milan is a shoo-in for the Scudetto right now because there are so many teams that are very good. One Milan slip up and the rest of the league, win a game and it's back on. You know what I mean? And it's only match 8, so it's very early to tell. But I think that Napoli fans who are upset with the Milan loss and that were expecting us to be in first and possibly attain a Scudetto, they're dreaming, and I don't think this year is at all a possibility that Napoli have a Scudetto hope. So what they need to do is aim for the Champions League again. And in Europe, they have to get to semifinal or final of the Europa League. A team like Napoli should be in the Champions League every season that attain the Champions, that want to attain the Champions League every season, can't go out in the group stages or the round 32 of the Europa League. They have to go to the max. They have to go to the semifinal and to the final. They have to do that. So if you ask me, a reasonable Napoli fan, it's fourth place, it's semifinal, final, it's a Coppa Italia, and it's the Super Coppa against Juventus on inauguration day, by the way. So that's what I want. I want a couple of more trophies, and I want to show good in Europe, and I want to get back to the Champions League. Everything else could be bonus.
He's not asking for too much.
Not
Steve.
too much. No.
Not
And
too
listen,
much.
before I go, just so you guys know, the reason Napoli lost yesterday is because Insigne went to the barber and got rid of his his gold, his frosting, on the top of his head, and that's why we lost. Come on,
and that's why Steve called it. We have always an excuse 1, Milan 3. Yes, go ahead.
He plays with highlights in his hair and he's unstoppable, and then he comes back with it shaved off and he's crap. So that's what I wanted to say.
So thank you for the explanation. Thank you very much for that explanation, Rafa. I don't know what we would do without that. Now that all makes sense. We'll make sure that the journalists get this information direttamente the Milan Weekly podcast. But Rafa, before we let you go, plug yourself away once again, and thanks again. Thank you for coming on and being our guest.
No, my pleasure. I'm sorry about the audio and the video. I'm at Raffa Napoli 83 on Twitter, at Far From Vesuvius on Twitter. Check us out. We try to give the most objective and fair assessment of Napoli. We're not those alarmist Napoli fans that want to make excuses for everything. So we're pretty fair guys, and we have a lot of friends in the Milan community. Milan Club Philly, David Fonte is one of my buddies. You guys, we love you guys. The podcast Scudetto with the predictions. I think we're all having a lot of fun with that. I'd love to create something so we can all get together and chat about that. And thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Expect a call from Presidente. He's gonna scold you on the audio quality. Have a good night, Rafael. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Ciao. Good night.
Ciao.
So, Steve, we unfortunately the internet in the States, you see, we did the upgrade, we took some Patreon finances, we did everything we needed to do, and now we got to go through all these questions because Patreon is on fire, and we had 3 audio clips, Steve, this week for kind of questions, and I know the questions are repetitive, but do you have anything to say before I find these audio clips, Steve?
Yes. While you find those audio clips, guys, it's important that you hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, guys. I know it's a small little gesture for you guys, but it does a world of good for us. There's fantastic people that listen to us every week, but go on to the YouTube channel and hit that beautiful subscribe button and that little bell so that when me and Vinny come on, or one of us or both of us, and we surprise you in the middle of the week, you're going to know when we're coming on. Thank you again to all the Patreons for continuing to support us. Very humbling. Everybody else who listens to us on the chat, Guys, it's really great. And another thing too, thank you to everybody who shares our podcast. Massimo and his Facebook pages are just fantastic things. So when you see me paste on there, you know that it's going out to real hardcore Milan fans. Whether it's in Italian or whatever language they're speaking, they're clicking and they're viewing, which is fantastic for us. So thank you to everybody. Forza Italian Football continues to stream us there, and of course Radio Rossonera. Those guys continue to promote us as the English voice of Radio Rossonera. So it's really humbling. Now we're streaming on 3 platforms, guys. So we're on fire.
Very, very much, and like you're saying, humbling. When you look at those numbers, you look at the support at the, little two nobodies like us, and just quite humbling, and we appreciate it. Steve, first message of the day was, Colin, how are you still awake?
Yeah.
How you go to bed? This poor guy, he stays is probably, what time is it there? Like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning? Yes, it is. And Steve, the heating, we're waiting until the last second.
Colin, the heating is good. This is to show off my new Milan toque, because it snowed, and I have my nice little scarf just to create the nice look. I would have had my hair tied because it's finally long enough to be to tie, but I know Raffa was going to be on, and he ties his hair, and his is nicer than mine.
Let's take it to Andre all the way from Russia. Let's listen to his question, Steve.
Hi, Vinny. Hi, Steve. The question for the podcast. Imagine that you have 100 million euros of the transfer budget, and you have a choice. Moncada comes to you and says, give me this money and I will bring you 5-6 talented young players. Maldini comes and says, give me this money, I will bring you 2-3 already built players to strengthen our squad. What would you choose?
Okay, so what would you choose, Steve, with a big lump sum of money, like 5-6 youngsters and promising players? Or Maldini comes and sees it, says, no, you know what, let's go get these 2-3 top class players and for like a short term project.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go the Maldini way, because the Maldini way brings me money. If I go and I take these 3 top class players, and I don't know what he means by that, but I'll just imagine a Modric style player or someone in that fine age of his career. Guys, the 2-3 established players, we need them because we have the young talent, the Tonali, the Salchicha maker, the Leao, Colombo.
Diaz,
more youngsters, guys. We don't know. We're rolling the dice with the youngsters. Juve throughout the years have massacred the Italian Serie A, where they've picked up all these young Italian players, kept them at Juve, held them on loan, sent them out on loan. They come back, they have no confidence, they're lost. And then after they're no good for the national team, they go on and they finish their career at Siena or whatever, Serie B, or they go to Genoa. I don't want to be that team. This Milan team needs to win. And to win, we need to get to the Champions League. So the 2-3 established players with the core that we have now gets me to Champions League. I'm signing that. I'm going with Paulo.
I like it. Same with me, especially with the kind of players we have right now. He needs no introduction.
Hey guys, it's Francis the Snake. Once again, big congratulations on Milan's win. I certainly did not expect that. And just to clarify the situation, I'm still not a believer in Milan finishing top 4. Kessie, Benacer, and Ibra have gotten all the credit for Milan's recent performances, but I feel there's a player that's being left out, and that's Gigio Donnarumma. Nobody's talking about him, but I feel like a lot of Milan's recent success are due to him. He's made some big saves at key time points, so credit is due to Gigio. I just want to know what you guys thought about that. Thank you, and keep up the good work.
So it's not really a question. He's basically saying, this is what I think. Yeah. What do you guys think, right? And guys, if ever you have a chance, go take a look at the old Red Card Weekly days when we had Francis, and that should be a Patreon special, Steve. We got to get him back on. But he's speaking the truth, right? I think maybe the performance is not, we're always talking about the Benacers, the Kessies, the Ibras, but Donnarumma has, he's had a couple, maybe na papara here, na papara there, but always consistency in goal. And I think we go back to like just give him whatever he wants, right? When it comes to dealing. You know what I mean? To a certain extent.
I'm not giving him whatever he wants there. It has to be something that fits in our budget for sure. Would I want to keep him? Absolutely, yes. But and I agree. Yes, Donnarumma has been that silent emerald that we have in the middle of this humongous jungle of diamonds, and we take him for granted because he's been with us since 16, right? And we expect him to be there. We expect him. And the thing is that with Donnarumma, I think he makes the easy things look hard and the hard things look very easy. Yesterday, he made a save that was fantastic, like out of this world. I forgot who was in on goal, and he stuck out his palm and it basically diving to his left, and he knocked it out for a corner, right? So those are things that it's again we've said it in multiple podcasts where throughout the years. We needed that save to keep us in the game. He's giving us that save that keeps us in the game, right? So, I agree with him. But for me, if we go with someone that's not talked enough, and I am personally going to say it again that I was completely wrong about this transfer, and I want to, if I ever have a chance to talk to him or meet him, I will apologize in person. Simon Kajar. And when I meet him in person, I'm probably going to pronounce his name very, very right. I want to say, I am sorry. You are the unsung hero of this Milan. And it's because we brought in, and it goes to Andre's question, right? You see, at that center back position, they had Romagnoli, they had Musacchio, we brought in Durante, we had Gabbia. Guys, the signing is Kajar, guys. Kajar is making a world of difference, at a very, very cheap price. And it's not to say that, the Spanish league is better or worse than the Italian league. It's certain people fit better in certain leagues. And for Simon, it's Serie A, Vince, and you see him, it's directing.
He's able to pick himself up when there's a mistake. He's made mistakes, guys, obviously, with all the defenders, but every time they whether they had miscommunication with Romagnoli, this and that, he doesn't let it bother him. Let's get back on track. And even at the beginning of this game, looked like he had gotten injured, sucked it up, buttercup, let's go. And definitely the diamond in the rough and the signing of the year. Forget about Ibra.
The thing though too about Kajar yesterday was there was one play where Kessie wanted to clear the ball, and he went to clear the ball with his hands behind his back because he thought they were going to cross it. He was in the box, right? And he went there. He went up to Frank and he said, "Hey, it's okay. Stand regular, and get that ball out." Because Frank, with his hands behind his back, he was off balance, and instead of clearing it out, they went out for a corner again. So that's a guy who's saying, "Come on, man. You're a professional, right? Like, I get the whole hands behind your back, but when you're trying to clear the ball out, let's go."
Great little picking you out, picking that out. And for our first ever patron, Steve, and she said, I couldn't let you just have Francis like last week, so Sabrina sent us a message and a question. Sorry.
Hey guys, my question for today is, since Ibrahimovic and Selmakers are out with injury, how would you line up in attack against Lille?
And this question, it does touch a lot of the questions, and we're going to try to touch base on it. So on Ibra's injury, they're saying they're going to reevaluate in another 7 days. Kind of getting prepared to maybe a 30 days, Steve.
It's going to be a month, guys, for sure. Guaranteed. The way he came out, the way he pulled, the way he held that part of his leg, we're looking at 30 days. So bye Lille on Thursday, that's for sure. No Fiorentina. Then I think we play Celtic. You're not going to see Ibra against Celtic.
We have Leao.
After that, I think it's Sampdoria, if I remember correctly. You're not going to see him there. Then we have Sparta.
We've won without him.
I think this is a good test. And again, I'm not on David's bandwagon that the Serie A is ours and it's our year, and I love that passion about it. For me, it's these games, right? It's the games where your best player is not there, and right now Ibra, our best player, is not there, and we're gonna have to make amends with it. Leao's injured as well, so he won't be there for a little.
So to our question, who do we put up front? Have to put Colombo.
Guys, we have to be very careful over here. For me, to be very honest with you, I need to see Colombo play more, because yesterday, yeah, we brought him in and he ran around, but we need this guy to. Right now, he's that only other option that we have, similar to what Ibra gives us. Someone who stands up there, a central point that someone can hit, and he can hold up play and make sure that the midfield comes up. We don't have anybody else.
No tridente with Hogan. I think he deserves a starting spot against Lille. We'll see.
Yeah, I think I would like to see Hogue. I would like to see more of Rebic, because Rebic yesterday, I think he had flashes of the old Rebic, but then seemed tired at the end. It seemed like he was giving away balls cheaply.
He was kind of invincible, but appeared at when we when it was the most important. And yes, definitely not at the Rebic that we're used to seeing, but definitely Rebic should be starting. Diaz is going to start for sure, and then to see what the options are up front. And I think it's going to have to be Colombo, unless Leao comes back and he puts him up as a striker. I'm not.
We have to think of things like in the midfield too, right? Benacer and Kessie losing a tooth yesterday after he got smashed in the face, so he's gonna go see the dentist. And you know what? It's not like I don't care about Europa League. I think that this clash against Lille is so delicate in terms of like it has to do with the first spot of the group. Do I really care about the first spot of the group right now in Europa League? Not really, because there's still the Champions League teams that need to come in. And I think I would be willing to take a risk in tomorrow's game and starting like a lot and doing a huge rotation, and then concentrating on the Celtic and the Sparta games at the end to finish it off and advance in the group. That's the way I would approach it, because Kessie, I can't lose another player.
No. I know Krunic is there, but I don't know if Krunic has the talent to do 5-6 games in a row. So we'll see on Thursday what goes on. Games at 1. Let's take it through the Patreon questions, Steve. Starting with Greg, with Ibra's apparent injury, do we pursue a short-term striker in January? I know that at this stage of the project we should not be looking at short-term signings, but it would be a shame if our campaign is derailed by Ibra being out and we do not try to replace him with a proven European goal scorer. If we look internationally, my suggestions are Hoj on the left, Diaz on the right, and Rebic at the center forward, with Leao being the first substitute for the wingers. Notice I did not mention Samu or Salad Maker, both hard workers, but too error-prone offensively. And, I'm going to tie it into Facebook Frank's question, because he's like, my question for tonight is that if Zlatan is out for a month or two and Leao being out a month as well, would you be opposed to Milan bringing a free agent towards for the remainder of the season, like a Mandzukic, perhaps? Mandzukic would be more of an insurance policy, especially since Colombo and Maldini are very green. So to that, Steve, looking at short term, do you bring in a guy like a Mandzukic? We're not talking about bringing in like a Kalinic at that time. That for those 6 months, or the Fernando Torres. How many games did he play, Fernando Torres? 9?
I don't know. The thing is that these questions they're all great questions. It just depends where we are at the halfway point when the transfer window opens. If we're at the top, I think Maldini has no choice. I think if we're in the top 4 at Christmas time, when we break for the holidays, I think Maldini has no choice. And I think Elliott has no choice to strengthen this team, because this is where we have not been for the past 10 years. Anywhere close to the top 4 once we head into the Christmas break. So I think I'm open to anything. I would like, maybe if they have money to spend, on someone who's a longer-term solution than Mandzukic. But hey, Mandzukic has some really great experience. We have not had great luck with ex-Juve players in the past, a la Bonucci, Higuain. So that's a little bit of a wrinkle for me. But hey, look at it this way, right? If we're in the top 4 at Christmas time, I think this team and this ownership right now
has no choice of getting
has
something.
no choice to invest. So I think we're looking at something even more nice, more polished than Mandzukic.
Than just a short term. Yeah, I like that definitely. Nahar ties into. He says, another week on tops. Congrats. How long do you think we could hold on to players that are having their value increase due to recent performances, or could Elliott actually be patient and build a successful team? And it goes to what we're talking, like all depending if these guys gain value and all of a sudden you're winning a Scudetto and you're making it through like very far in the Europa League or qualify for Champions League. Now these players are going to want to stay and might take that, little pay cut because they want to stay with the team. But, gaining value, guys like, Çalhanoğlu, there's all these talks of, selling and this and everybody wants him. And
the best I saw in the chat there, swap deal for Çalhanoğlu for Bernardeschi. Guys, imagination, I give you guys 100%. These are the best things. I love them. Soon Mercato Madness is going to open. It's going to open, guys. It's going to open. We can go crazy.
But no, definitely. See, all the way that the team is going to play now, and hopefully we're in a better position when it comes to winter break. Paulie says, since Ibra is going to be out for 10 days and Leao is also injured, it's time to give Hoj a start on the left wing and put Rebic up front. Could Dalot do a job on the right side midfield instead of Salamakers? That's another option there, right, Steve? We haven't been talking about Dalot had 2 good.
We need a right winger. We need a right winger, guys.
We need a right wing.
I said it. I got smashed. Oh, you're crazy. Salamakers is great. And look, I love Salamakers. I love his work rate. But Salamakers for the first half of that game was nowhere to be found. He looked lost out there, and then we took him out to put someone even more lost. Like, we can't make those mistakes, guys. You know what? And it was funny. I think it was Edwin. Hold on a second. I want to see. That was a great quote. That was a great thing. Give me this. Where was he? Basically saying, was Pioli taking? Was Pioli giving Lord Bonera instructions from the side? I think so. I really think so. I don't think
drones. He had drones during training for sure. He's coaching from a distance.
Yeah. So I don't. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And it should be like that. It should be. He's the coach. He can't be there physically, but now with technology, tell me we're back in 1990. It's Lord Bonera and that's it. But not nowadays.
Can I give my indigestion right away? I think you gave yours already, yeah. Steve. Can you tell me what the fuck was Bonera wearing? Was that a suit with a vest with the red wine? The red wine came back. Bonera, why don't you just have something with a Milan logo, something like that? That maroon. I know we have those turtlenecks that we still have to wear. That's our luck. I buy you a Christmas gift, and we never end up wearing them. But what the hell was he wearing?
I don't know. He's going with that style, that Pep style, with the crew neck and the jacket on top, with the woolen sleeves and the Puma shoes. What do you want to
do? To Ryan saying, great win for the team. I think they didn't play amazing, but they were efficient and got the job done. Question: should we start worrying about Hakan's form? I know Steve has already started. Other than that one pass for Rebic, I don't think he did enough. I would rather cut our losses with him and get someone new, maybe Soboslai or even Isco Eriksson. Thoughts? Ryan, we keep saying about Çalhanoğlu, but Çalhanoğlu wasn't making those passes, last year, the year before that. And it's just like, I know that he hasn't looked top shape so far, Steve, but when he needs to be there, he's there. No, do you agree with Ryan? Should we start worrying?
Look, I always worry because I said to myself a long time ago, I'm never going to fall in love with a player, and I obviously never fell in love with Hakan, right? For me, it was always, like Ryan said, he's making that one pass. As the number 10 of Milan, I need you to do more. I need consistency, and everybody's like, why are you being so hard on Hakan? Because I need consistency. And, back in the Gianpaolo and Gattuso days, that Hakan would have turned around and he would have passed the ball back to one of the center backs. And we would have been absolutely going nowhere, and we had absolutely no ideas what to do in the final third. Now, guys, he's actually going for that ball. So I'm going to give him that much. But as a number 10, asking for $7 million a year, I need you there every game. At $7 million, like we're starting to get into that North American price range, and I was listening to the buddies at Ale Jacoponi and guys at Non Evoluto. They're freaking out, right? Oh my God, 7 million, 5 million. Oh my God. They have to realize that sports, especially soccer right now, is getting that influx of American salaries. They see LeBron James, they see the Harden kid, they see the Mitchell kid signing max contracts of 195 million. Hey, something's going wrong over here. I'm playing just as many games, if not more, because I play national team duty, and I'm getting a 10th of the percent of what they're getting, right? So I get that European sports is structured differently, but guys, it's gonna come to a point where the 5 million is not good enough, And they were talking about Romagnoli. Should he get 5 million or 6 million? Inflation, guys. The prices are gonna go up, or people are gonna leave. So whether you fall in love with him or not, you as a business, as a team, need to make a decision whether he stays or he goes at the price that you're willing to pay for him.
Well said there. David from Philly. Hi, Vinny and Steve. Things are looking up in the Campionato, given the injuries to Ibra and Salsiccia Maker. They will go all out for the Campionato. That makes the Europa League a lower priority, but it will also reduce the risk of more injury and fatigue. I truly believe this is our year for the Scudetto. I'll leave room on the bandwagon for anyone who wants to join me. Ciao, Dave. He brings up a good point. Do you, let's just say with these injuries, do you just shoot the youngsters in the Europa League and not make it a priority, or wait until you're in a position where it's like, I'm just going keep the mentality up and shoot for the stars? Because I believe that even the bench team right now can give a run for the money to these Europa League teams, the ones that we're facing right now.
Yeah, look, we had a really bad game against Lille the last time we played them. They really bossed us around. And this game, I would like to see some sort of reaction, but I'm willing to gamble in this game, like I said before. I don't think we can, guys. I don't think we can, because the Campionato is very long. There's no guarantee you're going to be in one of the top 4 spots when May starts coming around. And if May starts coming around, then you're not in those top 4 spots, but you happen to magically continue in Europa League. Now, I'm saying May just as I picked a month, but I'm saying at a certain point, you'll see where you are in Europa League, and if you can make a push, as Milan is making a push in the Serie A, why not try to make that push? Yes, you're risking fatigue, but a lot of things have to go right, David, to win a Scudetto. A lot of things have to go right.
So we're not on the bandwagon yet, Dave, but thank you for leaving the space open.
Thank you for leading. Yeah.
Dino, hey guys, impressive and gritty win. Ibra again, majestic, but also hard to ignore. Benacer at this point, he did a great job in tight spaces to relieve the pressure and get the ball wide. Kessie superb again in that ball-winning midfield role. Best tandem in the league at the moment. I don't think there's any arguments there, right, Steve? At the moment, as we speak right now, yes, the best tandem in midfield in Serie A.
Yeah, I can say that I'm comfortable saying that Kessie and Benacer are the most underrated and best duo in Serie A right now.
I know we're already an hour in, Steve, but I did want to give it to our friend Vincenz from Instagram asking, here's my question for tonight. Does Milan lose their first game to scrappy Fiorentina without Ibra in the lineup?
Oh, fuck, I hate this game, man.
I
just hate this game,
right? Because everything, like the soccer gods, and okay, Fiorentina is playing like shit, but they're gonna want to win, right? But fucking Cece, Roma / he likes Fiorentina. He's a past Fiorentina.
Yeah, that was after Parma.
So this is 2001, 2005.
Does Milan lose to Fiorentina? Look, anything could happen, but Fiorentina has really been playing bad. Really, really been playing bad, and they've not looked good. And now the last game that they lost against Benevento, was it because Prandelli didn't have enough time? I don't know. They made the change before the international break, so he had some time to sit with these players and find some sort of harmony and cohesion to get them playing better. Will they put up a fight? I think they'll be pissed after losing against Benevento. And for Milan, guys, from here on out, it's gonna be tough, man. That focal point of Ibra is not there. Who is ready to take to take his place for the foreseeable future of 5 to 7 games? I think he's gonna be out. 5 to 7 games he's gonna be missing. Who's ready to take his place? Look, guys, it's time for guys like Rebic, Leao, when he gets back from injury, to come back. Hakan would like to see you again, sir. The youngsters, Diaz.
It's just like when Stone Cold got injured and Triple H and The Rock, they wanted to get the brass ring. They wanted to be the number one in the WWF back then. And a quick shout out to the people on Twitter. Thank you to Akinde, to Humud, Fabio. We had Wadi, all questions asking that we already answered from over there. But guys, thank you very much. Asking us about what we feel about Zlatan and giving Hoj Hogan a chance. Steve, I'm gonna let you talk about your whatchamacallit, your brioche of the week, because I gotta pop it onto the screen. Mine. Do you already have it?
No, I don't have it.
Hold on a second. How do I open this? I guess. Man, why isn't it open? But it's basically my. Sorry, Frank, I can't open. I don't know why I can't open it on the screen. Let me see here. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. But basically, last night, Steve. I don't know if you. I know you don't watch wrestling, but they're all like virtual people in the background.
Yes, I saw, and there was a Milan guy with a Milan jersey.
Sasha Banks with the belt up, and a guy with a Milan jersey right behind. That's my feel good. We're getting on top of the world, Steve. We're getting on top of the world, and there was this wrestling fan on Twitter, and we're talking, and of course I know Ibra. Who doesn't know Ibra? And he's like this guy from Oregon or something. I just love it. We're getting there. We're getting there. Nothing planned, Steve. Nothing feel good. Atalanta,
Milan on top of the table. Milan top of the table, and other people dropping points. That makes me happy.
I love it. And we have Thursday. Yeah, Frank, sorry, I wanted to open up the picture and share the screen, but I guess everybody saw it. We have Thursday, Steve. I'll see if I could make it for our North American patrons, maybe a live reaction this Thursday. If you would subscribe, you would get the notification. And for anybody over on the Patreon, we'll see how the week goes. But guys, thank you very much for sticking with us to our 3 platforms. Soon to be, what did the Presidente say?
10,000 platforms.
Oh, guys, by the way, guys, it's because Presidente making these executive decisions. And now we're upgrading our platform to 1080p. Guys, just to let you know, he put the kids to bed earlier to make sure that he could watch it live to see how the quality is. Then he sent us a couple of messages, guys, make sure it's in 1080p. I want to see the quality of the difference. So he's on top of things, Steve. He's on top of things. Negotiating discounts with StreamYard like if he was, Black Friday shopping. But thank you to Presidente, always looking out for us. And hopefully the audio quality is of utmost quality. But the guys,
I think it's fantastic. It's huge. It's the best ever.
Thank you so very much to all our live viewers, listeners, and downloaders as we take you to another week of Milan Talk here live on the Milan Weekly Podcast. Ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan!
Oh no, sorry, Steve. He's watching. We gotta make sure we put the video. Where's the video? Did you guys like that? We're gonna do like a midnight. What we were doing back in the day. Milan Weekly
Podcast after
dark. Guys, buonasera. We'll talk to you soon.